Detroit, and a fellowship in cardiac anesthesia. He developed a profound interest in exploring spirituality during his medical school days in India and started practicing Raj Yoga meditation with the Brahma Kumaris. He is actively involved in conducting meditation courses and self-realization workshops locally in Georgia and South Carolina area and at Peace Village, the beautiful retreat of Brahma Kumaris nestled in the Catskill Mountains in upstate New York. So thank you for joining us today. And accompanying him is Dr. Kanishtha Agarwal. She's a former pediatrician from India and currently a research associate at Augusta University. After moving to the US in 2006, she decided to make a switch from conventional medicine to focus on preventive aspect of healthcare by completing a master's in public health from Wayne State University, Detroit. A long-term meditation practitioner herself, during her MPH, she got an opportunity to explore the benefits of meditation on chronic pain patients. This led her to recently completing, a PhD in mind-body medicine from Saybrook University, Oakland, California, and her dissertation on the spiritual experiences of long-term Brahma Kumaris, Raj Yoga meditators with history of cancer, and interpretative phenomenological analysis, I think I got that,
Thank you.
won the Distinction Award in the field of mind, body, and medicine. So together we have Shvetank and Kanishtha are the co-founders of the Global Institute of Mind-Body Wellness, where they plan to provide basic and advanced mind-body skills to promote physical, mental, and spiritual health and wellness in the community, as well as to create a platform to conduct further research in this area. So I cannot wait to hear what they have to say today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers. I got this invitation from Dr. Mukesh Nigam to come, and I also want to thank Dr. Santosh Rajagopalan for giving me this. Krishna
Gopalakrishna.
Gopalakrishna. Pardon me.
Don't worry.
All right. So thank you again. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation because neither does Kanishtha. Both of us decided not to do PowerPoint presentations because I guess we've gotten tired of PowerPoint presentations. This is not going to be a typical scientific session like you have been hearing in other RP sessions and RP meetings, if you will. But I feel that there is enough science that we know. Medicine is full of science. But what has gotten missing in the entire process is the heart and the soul of medicine. So I today feel very honored that I've gotten this opportunity to speak, and I'm sure Kanishtha feels honored too, to speak on something that's very near and dear to us, to bring back the heart and soul into medicine. I'm sure right now there's a lot of mental power here, right? Mind power. We are, as physicians, some of the most intelligent people on this planet. And
that's up to debate.
Wonderful. But if you look at even the physical power, I guess each one of us can pick up, lift maybe 30, 40, 50 pounds. So collectively we can lift quite a bit. So there's enough physical power too. So what about social power? Yes, we have considerable connections with society, with people, with our patients. But how about spiritual power? Unless we are connected with ourselves, unless we get an opportunity to take time out of our busy schedules to re-understand, reconsider who we are, our true purpose in life, then can we really treat our patients well? And that's what I'm going to get at. But before we start, my request was that if we could take a moment of silence, a moment to reflect. If you could just sit quietly for a moment without any movement, I inspire you because in general, in our lives, this is thoroughly missing. If you want to close your eyes for a moment, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But take a moment to breathe deeply. Take a deep breath in. Hold that breath for a moment and breathe out. Take another deep breath. And as you take this next deep breath, relax a little more. I'm sure the first breath relaxed you already. Take another deep breath, the third breath, and feel yourself sinking deeper into your chair. For a moment, reflect. Why are you a physician? Go back into your childhood days. Go back into those days when you chose medicine as your career. What was the reason? Was it money? Was it big cars? Big houses? Was it the American dream? Was it those trophies? Was it those publications? Was it those names? Those positions? Those titles? Or was it something more? Hold that thought, because I'm sure there's something more in all of this. Was what drove you to become a physician in the first place. Agreed? But do you also agree that somewhere along the way we have forgotten it? To some extent at least. So instead of doing a monologue, instead of me saying something alone, is there a possibility to have another microphone? If there is, that's fine. If not, then that's okay too. But if you can step here. I was thinking that a dialogue, a conversation could keep things moving and more interesting. So,
it's a small room, I think we can hear each other.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
without the
Because it'd be
microphone.
hard to
Yeah.
reach another mic right now.
That's perfect.
Sorry.
No worries, that's perfectly fine. I should have said that earlier. It's really my fault. But I was wondering, let me ask Kanishtha, and Kanishtha can probably share this better because she actually made the switch. She was a practicing pediatrician back in India. She in fact went into pediatrics critical care while she was in India. Then came to US and totally switched gears and decided not to take over conventional medicine, go into something bigger and higher. And so tell us your journey a little bit if you can.
So, it's interesting how when I came to US, I had this impression in my mind that people here have everything. So what I'm going to see are happy faces. But when I came here, what I saw was everywhere there was a stress. I did not see any smiling or happy face, even though everyone has everything, but still, I did not feel that they were happy from inside. So then I thought that, there has to be some reason why people are not happy here. And also, when back in India, when I was doing my medical studies at that time, also when I was seeing the patients, and when I was seeing the patients, I was every time I would wonder that why these patients, although I was treating them, but still there was something that was missing in the treatment. When I was giving them the treatment, something was missing. And I went back to the WHO definition of health, that says that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. But later on, this definition was further revised when they added the spiritual dimension to it. And then I realized after that that this is what was missing in the treatment that not only me but all other physicians were giving to their patients. The spiritual dimension was missing in the healthcare. And this is the reason why I was not seeing any happy face, not only back in India but also here. Because here everyone has everything, but still the spiritual dimension was lacking. And this is the reason people had so much of, they were going through so much inside. So then I thought that instead of pursuing this conventional medicine, why not explore more about this aspect of healthcare? And then I went into research. Initially, I did my MPH, where I realized that people, when they are in so much pain, why not give them a little bit of meditation experience and just see what this meditation experience is, how this meditation experience is helping these group of people who were coming with so much pain at the pain clinic. That time I was in Detroit, Michigan, and I experimented with about 50 people over there, and I gave them just 10 minutes of experience. They came with a lot of pain, and I asked them their level of pain in the scale of 0 to 10, and then I just gave them 10 minutes of meditation experience. And then later on again I took their pain, asked them about their pain, intensity of pain, and there was dramatic decrease in the intensity of their pain. From 10 it reduced to 5, and sometimes in some cases it reduced to even further 0 to 4 or 3 or 2, just in 10 minutes of meditation. And their blood pressure, their heart rate, that also I was recording, that also reduced. And then this thought came in my mind that if just 10 minutes of meditation experience can help pain patients, then why not use this technique to help these patients, help them learn this art so that they can use not just medication to help themselves, but they can also learn the art of meditation to heal themselves and to help themselves, So that led me to go to this PhD that I did from Saybrook University last year. I finished my PhD in mind-body medicine, and I learned a lot about how our mind has tremendous capacity to heal the body. There is definitely a link between mind and body that science actually is science is also understanding, and science is also believing in the power of mind that we can use to heal ourselves. So then I decided that to use my interest and also to explore more on the effect of mind and spirituality on cancer survivors. Basically, I was more interested in cancer patients because I lost my sister from cancer. And she went through chemo and surgery and everything, but still she was not able to survive. But then I realized that, this cancer has become like an epidemic. Every third household, if you see, every third household has at least one person who is suffering from cancer. So then I did further research. Then I realized that this is what I want to do. I really want to help this group of population, cancer survivors, who are really in pain, and they are taking so much of chemo and radio and surgery, but still, this element, spirituality, is missing. Because in my research I found that many cancer survivors, they were yearning for spiritual well-being. So that inspired me to get to know more about why this group of population, this group of people are yearning for this spirituality. And in my research, what I found that this group of people, I took about 6 to 9 cancer survivors. Initially, I started off the pilot study, and then later on 6 people I took. And what I found that this group of people, they were using spirituality to handle their cancer. because they have been practicing meditation for a long time. Because I wanted to know, the benefits of meditation. So
Why don't you tell about the interpretive phenomenology?
yeah. So the meditation, yes, I took this group of people, but I used a very different type of qualitative methodology because I was more interested in qualitative research rather than quantitative, because a lot of research has been done in meditation, and they have found that there are so many benefits, physiological benefits of meditation. But I wanted to explore more. I wanted to know more about these people, how they experience meditation in their lives. So I did this phenomenological study. This study is phenomenology is actually type of qualitative research methodology where researcher actually studies the experiences of a particular phenomenon. And in my case, I took this cancer as a phenomenon to know more about what these people, these participants, these cancer survivors were going through. So in this particular methodology, the idea is to step into the participants' inner world to know what they were feeling, to understand the meaning of their experiences. So it's a double hermeneutic study where, hermeneutic means interpretation. So it's not about only understanding how the participant is interpreting their experiences, but it is about how the researcher is also interpreting what the participants are going through. So it's a double hermeneutic. So that's why I chose this particular type of methodology, so that I can use my experience of meditation, my long-term meditation experience, to interpret what these participants were experiencing.
I was thinking we can talk about those results in a little bit, but I was just thinking that, one of the things, it's so interesting that how time has shifted over time. Some few years back, if we talked about meditation and spirituality or soul in a scientific meeting, we would be booted out, right? Boo. But now, no. We all are understanding. We all are finding. On one hand, we know that America has become a pill-popping America, right? There's disease everywhere. There is problem everywhere. I really didn't want to put those slides up where the dismal state of healthcare that is happening in the United States today. We are one of the largest spender in healthcare across the world, and we are not even in the top 10 of the health indices, if you will. There is the opioid epidemic, there is a pain epidemic, there is cancer epidemic, there's every kind of negative epidemic you can think of. So clearly it tells us that whatever we have been doing so far is not going to work. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So many diseases, so many illnesses. In fact, now our medicine books that we read when we were in medical school, Harrisburg and what was the Harrison, I'm sorry. See, now in America now we become very Americanized, right? But so all these books have become almost outdated. Nobody wants to go back and read those books. It's all now journal articles because everything has changed. But what is going on? What can we do? And I wanted to take this moment really for us to kind of slow down and reflect. That you think of it in a way that, say, I remember, I'll tell you one story. I went to get my flu shots in October, and we were standing, because it's now mandatory, right, in all hospitals to have a flu shot. So I'm standing in the queue, and there are a few more people in front of me. And I saw the lady who was giving the shots. She had such a sort of anger on her face. And you literally have to believe me. If I have a pen, I can show you how she was holding this syringe. That's it. I know it didn't hurt too much, but for a moment when she was doing it, I said the amount of anger she's holding in her heart. If this kind of anger, this kind of negativity we hold on to, how in the world can we serve our patients. So the important thing here is what I have realized over time. If we talk about burnout on the, well, I talked about disease and on the other side we can talk about burnout. They say that every second physician is experiencing burnout of some sort or the other. They say that in England, the same thing, 2 out of 5 physician is experiencing burnout. But you see, that was a very interesting, what got me thinking in this was, there is a beautiful article that got published in, it's all out of England, where they said, if every second physician out of 5 is experiencing, or 2 out of 5 are experiencing burnout, what about the rest 3? Why are the 3 others not experiencing burnout?
Retire.
That's a good one. But actually the research was on practicing physicians. So there is something that needs to be done. Something probably the other 3 are doing to make it better for themselves. So what can we do? Is there a need? Do you feel inside yourself? On one hand, what are we providing to the patients? On the other hand, what are we doing for ourselves? And that's what spirituality is all about. The purpose of what we are doing. Why are we even here? Who are we? As I had mentioned earlier, those are the identities that we create. The cars and the houses, the Lexuses and the BMWs. The publications, the degrees, the titles. But are we those? Are you your publications? Are you your positions that you have in your department or in your organization? Are you even the body that you see in the mirror every day? Are you your name? Think of it. Are you? If somebody says, I am my name, I take that name, write it on a piece of paper, I tear it, will you be dead? These are merely identities that we are getting stuck to. Who are we? If you go back to the definition, or not the definition, but look at the word human being. Human being. You know how that word human has come from? It's from a Latin word called as humus, which means soil. That is, this body is made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, a little bit of selenium, a little bit of zinc, a little bit of other things, maybe phosphorus and so on and so forth. But what is this being? There is something that we have totally forgotten. We have become human doings. We keep doing. But this is the moment for us to reflect on the being aspect. That we are truly the life force, the energy that animates this body. Think about it. Who are you? Because unless we understand that we are souls, that we are eternal beings, that we are energies. If you look at, even if you go into quantum physics now, you know what quantum physics says? If you take any matter, any object, you break it down, it's made up of molecules. Between the molecules, there's a huge amount of space. So there are molecules here, but there's huge amount of space between them. Inside the molecules, there are atoms, right? Molecules are made up of atoms. Between 2 atoms, there's a huge amount of space. If you go inside an atom, the subatomic particles, there's a huge amount of space. So if you take any object, it's 99.9999999% and you can go on. It's merely space. And that 0.0000001% is matter. And even that matter, what they saw when they went into the subatomic particles, that they would come in and out of existence. They were merely energies, it's merely information that comes in and out of existence. They go from particles of experience to waves of possibilities. So who are we really? You look at this physical body and you think I'm hand and legs and eyes and this and that. I'm tall, I'm short, I'm rich and poor, I'm big, I'm smart, I'm this and that. What are we really? We are 99.99999% space. And the rest, whatever there is matter, is really just information. We are just merely information. So what are we learning from? Even the car that you look at is merely information. I want a new car. What is my next car? What is my next house? What is my next destination for a vacation? Is all that we think about most of the times. I know we are running out of time. I just want to also share with all of you something that really touched my heart recently. Aristotle had come up with 4 levels of happiness. Anybody here knows that? This is not something new, all this that I'm saying. It's time and dated for hundreds of thousands of years. What did Aristotle say? The 4 levels. The first level, the lowest most level of happiness, and he used the word called as laetus, L-A-E-T-U-S, which means that you get by sensual pleasures, physical things, belongings. A new car. Wow, I feel so good. A new something, new cell phone, new this, new that. That is latest, the lowest most form of happiness. 99% of people on this earth are still stuck in that. And there's a second level that's called as Felix, F-E-L-I-X, which means happiness that comes by showing that I'm better than you. I have more publications than you. I have more abstracts than you, conference than you. I have a bigger title. I have a better office. I earn more than you. Right? That's Felix. Most of us physicians get stuck there. There's a third level called as BTT2. What does that mean? That when we serve others, when we do something bigger than ourselves, without any expectations, without wanting something in return, unconditional love for others, unconditional respect for others, unconditional help for others, that is BTT2. But there is something even beyond all this. You know what is that? And he calls it as sublime BTT2. The happiness that you get, but just by being who you really are. The beautiful soul, child of God, with infinite worth, unlimited possibilities, is all that you are. What are we running for? What are we running after? What are we fighting for? Is my question to all of you. So my request to you is that as we keep on doing what we are doing, as we keep on taking care of our patients, as we keep on earning money and wealth and possessions, my hope was that we can step back at least a little time, few minutes every day, or at least for a little bit every week, and reflect and reconsider and realign our goals, realign our values, and see how much more we can do for ourselves, our families, our patients, and this world. Thank you very much. If we have a minute or so, then I will request Kanishtha to take us through a meditation experience. Are you all with it?
Yes.
Something special. Yeah.
So, make yourself comfortable and just relax. And recharge yourself. This is your moment. to experience who you are. Remembering that you are a spiritual being. You are here in this world for a special purpose. To serve. And the best way to serve is by connecting to your true self, the being that you are. So take a moment to go within. Into that sacred space. Gently focus your attention at the center of your forehead and visualize a spark of light. This is where the being, the life force, the energy, the consciousness resides. This is who you are. See yourself fully connected to this being. And feel the energy. Maybe you can say to yourself in your mind, I am a being of peace. I am a being of peace. I am a happy being. And now, having recharged yourself, gently bring yourself back to this moment, and I invite you to gently open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You see, there was a muted applause because everybody was relaxed so much that they didn't clap anymore. Thank you again, Dr. Agarwal. It was a pleasure having you. I'm sorry we had to make this a short session due to paucity of time, but we would have you in the future sessions for these kind of very different and lifting and enlightening talks. Thank you so much for being here. They came all the way from Augusta, ladies and gentlemen. Big hand for Dr. Agarwal. All right, before we go to the next topic, I'd like to first of all thank our grant sponsors who have been here supporting us and organizing these kind of talks.